I don't know if you've ever like been in a store in the last 3 years, but Hello Kitty is everywhere. You cannot escape her. Everywhere you turn, she is watching you. And listen, I love Hello Kitty capitalism as much as the next person, but when Strawberry Shortcake also started popping up a lot, I got a little like excited because I was getting a little sick of the Hello Kitty capitalism. Don't tell her that. It was just nice when you were like in box lunch or in Five Below, and next to the Hello Kitty section there was just like all these like cute fruit themed strawberry shortcake things. And there was a short phase a few months back where I was like, you know what, I think I like strawberry shortcake more than Hello Kitty, and all my friends said I was a pick-me. Also, the My Melody Karami show made me change my mind, and I actually love Hello Kitty forever. Don't tell her that I was unfaithful for a few months, she will kill me. I didn't grow up with like the older strawberry shortcake that's on a lot of the merchandise right now. I grew up with that like 2000 strawberry shortcake, but I had absolutely no memory of any of it. I had only seen probably like 2 movies, and I had a lip balm where her hat would slide off and there was a bunch of lip balm inside and it smelled really good, and I do think I ate some of it. I decided to watch one of the strawberry shortcake movies, and I picked this one because I thought I could make funny horse girl jokes. Didn't realize I actually had seen this one. I just had absolutely no recollection of it besides me liking the horses. I was kind of a horse girl as a kid. When I was 11 years old, I watched 12 seasons of Heartland back to back. So like, listen, I know my horses. Side note, when I was at the local fair with my boyfriend the other day, we were watching like a horse jumping show. It was very fun, but in the distance, I don't know what was happening, but there was a bunch of children hobby horsing in like a circle. It looked like a cult ritual. I don't know what was going on. I really hope those kids are okay. This opens up with something we all have to deal with in our modern day and age. Job hunting. Luckily, this isn't real life where you search and there are no jobs, and then you do find one and apply and you still don't get the job. This is strawberry shortcake land. So there's a job right in the newspaper. It's a 2-week job. She calls up, interview right away. I guess she doesn't actually need the job because it is only a 2-week thing. She's just doing it for funsies. She's off to go do her interview, and who the is this non-fruit themed child? Ticket man comes, and there is a moment where Strawberry Shortcake is struggling to find her ticket. I thought that was setting up like a little side plot, like maybe she lost her ticket and they were gonna like try to like throw her off the train like the Polar Express. I don't know. But she does find her ticket along with Angel Cake, and let me tell you something. I hate her. I should have known immediately she was gonna piss me off, because who sits on an empty train on the opposite like direction but also away from the window? So Angel Cake is also going for the interview. At first the girls are a little bit sad because like there's only one job and there's 2 people that are about to go get interviewed, but they decide it's not a competition and they'll be friends no matter what. Remember that. Put a pin in that. They arrive at the ranch and they meet Annie Oatmeal. Angel Cake immediately shoves Strawberry Shortcake out of the way, and Strawberry Shortcake isn't even fazed by this. I guess this is just a reoccurring thing that happens. They both do their interviews and there's a very suspenseful moment where they don't know who's gonna get the job. Annie just gives them both the job. They were like really banking on getting this 2-week job. Like, do they pay bills? Do they need this job? They are like literal children. Like, does anyone need jobs in this society? Annie gives them a tour, and when they're in the mess hall, there's a trophy on the wall, and Angel Cake is very attracted to the trophy and wants to know what it's for. And Annie explains that the ranch hands used to have a competition where they would like get their rooms to compete in activities, and whoever won got the trophy. Then it got too out of hand and everyone lost the real meaning of being a ranch hand, having fun, living on the countryside. I watched 12 seasons of Heartland, so like I know what it means. But of course Angel Cake asks if they can do it again, and Annie doesn't want them to because she wants them to have fun. Angel Cake promises that she will still have fun, and then she peer pressures Strawberry Shortcake into also saying that she'll have fun. Now they sing a song about Annie teaching them how to work on the farm, and Annie does this fun dance. There's this line in the song where she sings, "Every job you'll wind up a better person than you were before," and I have opinions about that, right? I'm all for like doing tasks, staying active, doing jobs and stuff is good for you. It gives you like drive and character development. I agree with that, but also I work in retail, and I do know from experience, from my own experience in watching other people, it does not always make you a better person. Sometimes I met people that were really cool, and over the course of working in retail, all of the life has drained out of them and they have become horrible people. I too sometimes have become one of the worst versions of myself because of retail. So I know that that's probably just a retail problem specifically. I just wanted to weigh in on my opinions. I think if I was a ranch hand, I think maybe I would come out a better person than I was before. I should really look into that. I'm sure they'll hire me. I watched 12 seasons of Heartland. They changed their outfits, and I just don't think that Strawberry Shortcake's outfit slaps as much as it's supposed to, since she is the Strawberry Shortcake. And they do a 3-part harmony. Annie wakes all of the girls up.
Time to rise, time to shine.
Coincidentally, all of the people that are staying on the ranch for the 2 weeks are people that they already know, like Lemon Meringue and all these other people whose names I don't know because I don't remember anything about Strawberry Shortcake. I do know Plum Pudding though, and she gets put in Strawberry Shortcake's cabin, but she's clumsy. And out loud, Angel Cakes exclaims how clumsy she is and that Strawberry Shortcake isn't gonna win because she's clumsy. That she has to say this in front of everyone. Plum Pudding's outfit really slaps. I also feel really emotionally attached to Plum Pudding because every single time I get one of those like, your birthday, your Strawberry Shortcake character, I have gotten Plum Pudding every single time ever. Annie gives Plum Pudding thunder because he is a smart horse and he likes someone who's smart and in control and knows where she's going. And I can't tell if Annie is giving her this horse so that she has like some character development or if Annie is genuinely making fun of her. Plum Pudding is really struggling with this horse. The horse also likes to jump, and then Annie gives this really creepy smile. So we're on to the chili cooking part of the competition, and Angel Cake is very aggressively leading her team. Strawberry Shortcake and her friends are just having a fun time, but Plum Pudding does accidentally drop all of the chili powder into the chili. Strawberry Shortcake comforts her and tells her that everybody makes mistakes.
We all make mistakes, right? Not as many as she does.
Why are the Strawberry Shortcake girls filled with such hatred? So Annie tries the chili, it's way too hot, and Angel Cake declares that they won. Maybe Annie likes hot chili. Like I know it was a little too hot, but I feel like that doesn't make the chili bad. Like, why are you just declaring that you won? The next day, they're in the decorating horse segment of the competition, and Plum Pudding is struggling a bit to make her horse glamorific. She runs off crying, and Annie gives her an inspirational speech at taking one thing at a time and remembering to have fun. But Plum Pudding still struggles to walk her horse down the runway, which results in once again Angel Cake declaring that they won. But you're not the judge. Lemon Meringue and the other one whose name I don't know are gossiping how they don't want Plum Pudding on the team, and she is watching them from like the bushes, and they go to Strawberry Shortcake and tell Strawberry Shortcake that they don't want her on the team. Strawberry Shortcake has to teach them basic empathy and explain that if Plum Pudding didn't want them on the team, it would probably hurt their feelings. And Lemon Meringue has like a genuine epiphany.
I wouldn't feel too good.
It's too late because Plum Pudding is packing up her slippers. She's leaving. She doesn't want to be here anymore. After 1 second of Strawberry Shortcake talking to her, Plum Pudding decides to stay. She puts her slippers back. Now on the trail ride segment of the competition, it's not a race, and Annie's gonna follow behind and just see who does the best getting home as a team. Not a race, very important. And she does tell them to stay off of Peppercorn Pass because it's dangerous and they'll probably die. Angel Cake does want to get back first because she thinks that Annie will be more impressed with her, and she also says that whoever wins this wins the competition, and I am confused by that because her team won the last 2 competitions. So like, even if Strawberry Shortcake won this one, would that really make them win the whole competition? Like, were the other 2 just meaningless then? What was the point? So Angel Cake takes her team on Peppercorn Pass, and Strawberry Shortcake tells her team that they're not doing that, but Lemon Meringue and her minion, whose name I don't remember, go off separately to follow Angel Cake's team because they also think getting there first will help them win. I understand their mindset of like, if we get there first, she might think that we did a better job, but if you split up, because the whole point is getting there as a team, if you split up your team and some of you get there first and some of you get there later, do you really think that's gonna give you points? I feel like if anything, that would just lose you points. So Angel Cake's team has gotten to the end of the trail, and it's just some rocks on a cliff, but they all declare their loss. You can just turn around. You can just turn around and go back. Strawberry Shortcake catches up to them because again they could have just turned around. They weren't like lost, they just went straight, and the trail ended because it's dangerous. All of the screaming causes the rocks to fall. Luckily, because Plum Pudding was slow, she did not get trapped in the rocks, and Strawberry Shortcake tells her to go get help and that Plum Pudding is their only hope, and then Angel Cake declares that if that's their only hope, they're doomed. Really loudly so that Plum Pudding can hear, and if I was Plum Pudding at that point, I would have just left them to die. The more rocks fall and Plum Pudding gets a little bit trapped, but she's had some of her character development, so she doesn't have as much anxiety about letting her horse just jump over the rocks. Plum Pudding, by getting help, just gets Annie, just gets one extra person, and Annie is just like, we'll just push the rocks. So like, I feel like they could have figured that out on their own. I guess they just spend like hours doing this and we don't get to see because in the very next scene, they're all out. There's no more rocks. Angel Cake apologizes just to Annie, literally just to Annie, for getting them stuck in that situation because she wanted to win. And then they sing a song about going home and they ride a rainbow. This whole song is just explaining what happened in the last 2 minutes with visual montage. And then they ride off into the sunset. When they get back, Annie decides to give the trophy to just Plum Pudding because of like her character development. Like honestly, all she did was turn around, jump over some rocks, and then find Annie probably like 5 feet later because she was already following them to make sure they were okay. Like, I'm all for her character development, and like I'm a Plum Pudding girl. She didn't really do that much. Angel Cake then tells Strawberry Shortcake that she's gonna remember to have fun next time because she went a little overboard. She still never apologized. She never apologizes to Plum Pudding, and then it ends. Except I lied, this was a 2-part movie. I'm assuming it was just 2 horse-themed Strawberry Shortcake episodes, and they thought, you know what, let's make this a DVD special. The next one isn't really, like, as interesting. I didn't write that much down about it. In this episode, we do find out there are bills who do need jobs in this society because one of her friend's farm is about to shut down because she can't pay the bills. So Strawberry Shortcake drives to her friend Caramel Corn's farm. I don't know why she's driving. I think she's like 8 years old. This girl's farm is full Stardew Valley customized. She has the sprinklers, she has the robots to pick up her eggs and milk her cows. She sings a song about how much she loves her farm because it's like her home. She can't pay her bills because her animals are disappearing. So she decides to just sell it, but Strawberry Shortcake says that she'll help her figure it out. So this is Pie Man. I don't remember Pie Man ever existing. I feel like I should have remembered Pie Man existing. He's kind of just Waluigi, but he wants to open a theme park. So I guess he's also Eggman. So just imagine like a Waluigi x Eggman, Strawberry Shortcake OC, and that's Pie Man. He wants to open Pie Man Land specifically. The gang being Strawberry Shortcake, her farm friend, and her animals, decide to stay up late and see where her animals are going, but they all fall asleep so they don't see Pie Man steal them. So the next night, Strawberry Shortcake and her animals just dress up as sheep, and that time they do wake up and see Pie Man steal the sheep and also steal themselves.
What's it say, Strawberry? Future home of Pie Man Land?
Girl, that is a picture of a pie. Strawberry Shortcake calls in some reinforcements, like Angel Cake for some reason, and Orange Blossom, and also this random kid who isn't fruit themed either. We're gonna set up a fair to help save Caramel Corn's farm. Oh, and they're also gonna try and like get her animals back because Pie Man stole all of her animals. Is this kid even real? Like, can he even exist in this universe if he isn't based off of a food? So they all start setting up for the fair, and they all just put up these posters in very desolate areas where there's no people. The only directions for how to get to the farm is a little arrow. So Pie Man comes and he changes the arrow to face the opposite direction. So after Strawberry Shortcake's animals save Caramel Corn's animals from the Pie Man Land ranch, they all get ready to start the fair. And even though this gate they can see over opens up and then there's no people, they still still acts surprised. Pie Man comes and he's like, I guess I'm gonna buy your farm because you have no money. And Strawberry Shortcake gives up. She's like, maybe you should sell the farm. And then the non-fruit themed child just comes up and is like, Strawberry Shortcake, wait, the arrow was pointing in the wrong direction. And she's like, oh, give me 5 minutes. And then she brings all of the Strawberry Shortcake characters to the fair, and now Caramel Corn has money, and they sing a song about the farm. The end. I don't really have a lot to say because like other children's movies I feel like hold up pretty well, like the Bratz movies, the Barbie movies, because they're either like, wow, this is insane, or wow, this is actually still like really good and speaks to me in my adult life. But this one is just actually made for children. Like I didn't even remember this movie. I didn't remember anything about this. I like Pie Man. I fuck with him. I have to go now though because I have to go get ready to go back to my retail job.